Hi, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to my channel, Intuitive Insights in Tarot, with me, Scott A. Yates. Okay, so we are broadcasting to the public for right now. In a few minutes, I'll switch over to my members only. But first, I would like to give any of you out there watching this now who have any questions concerning your personal life or things that are affecting you or your loved ones. If you'd like to ask the cards, I would love to try to give you an answer. I can't always give an answer. I don't always, uh, I don't claim to be perfect, but I'm here to help. And I see Susan Chamberlain's here. I was reading Kimberly's comment here earlier. I thought it was interesting. She was here when I was asleep at 4 a.m. We'll see them look way younger when they're living in alignment and are spiritual within their body does change, and they will look different when they did. Those who look younger, it shows. I so I think what you're saying, Kimberly, is that since Jim Carrey got away from Hollywood and he's living true to a more authentic life, that he's looking younger. It's a good idea. Uh, I think it works for me. A lot of people tell me I do not look 62 years old. And she says that was channeled from the Galactic Ashtar. So I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit and wait and see who shows up. Cherie, I'm glad to see you were able to get on, Cherie. You don't need any money. You don't to ask a question, Susan. I say that all the time. There are people who have more than enough who sometimes pay me extra, and that's enough to make up for the people who don't. And besides, in a case like this, if you ask me a question here and I give you an answer and it helps you and it makes me feel better, it makes you feel better, and that in itself is reward. And I hate to put it this way, but it provides content for this channel. So that's the energy exchange. I am, you know, uh, I'm here to serve. So, Susan, if you have a question, all I ask is that we stay away from big geopolitical and really, you know, questions that have so many different possibilities. Oh, sure, he's not working tonight. Great, great. You may notice a little bit different here in my setup. I'm able to look directly at the camera and not over to the side any. I was able to set up my camera so it's right in front of me, and then right below that is my mobile phone. So I no longer have to like hold my phone and look at it. I can do everything right here. It's pretty cool. Right. Hello, Tanya. Glad to see you here on time. I'm gonna pull up the text I have prepared for later, notes I have made. Yeah, so I have a confession to make, but I'm going to wait till we're in the members only. But at this point, this part of this live stream is for you. Uh, I would like to be of service to you if there's anything I can do to help. And Susan, question: is my son John going to realize I was right about the cabal and start talking to me again? Susan, I've had this question probably at least 20 times over the past 3 years from other people who've been estranged by their children and or loved it. And in almost every case, I can only think of maybe one or two where the other people's hearts had been hardened so much that it wasn't going to work. That everybody comes around, and it's going to happen when all this information comes out. And uh, I still believe that there's going to be an emergency broadcast in some form, and I do believe it's going to run 8 hour documentary back to back for days at a time, to where everybody on Earth in every language will get an opportunity to hear it, and it'll convince everybody. And there are a few people that are just too deranged to accept it. That will probably drive them mad. Okay, so Susan, let's see about your son. Now, I'm really glad you're giving me the opportunity to read this, to do this for you. Oh, Tigger, boy cat, met Junior, girl cat, and she looked at him and then stayed on her chair and her blanket the entire 3 hours he was at our home. Okay, good. Glad to hear that's going well. Okay, so let me get over here and I'll bring up my cards. There we go. All right. A little bit of background. Susan, how old is John? And before I start, let me think about this. So this is kind of like a relationship reading. So in that case, it'll be Susan and John, um, and then in the middle card will be his challenge, because the challenge is not on your part; it's on his part. Okay, so this is for you, Susan. A page of wands. Oh, that's a great sign right there. And this is exactly, you see this? So this is exactly what I was talking about. This and this is for on John's side. This is information, swords are information that's being brought out, being brought back into the public domain. And and also it's moving from rougher waters into a more protected area where the waters are calm. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. See, this is another thing that happens a lot of times. People have people change their thinking, but then they don't tell you about it. So he's gone through some type of metamorphosis in the recent past concerning this topic. Just give me a moment. I'm thinking about this. Thanks, Marcia. I'll get to your question in just a minute. So, Susan, before I tell you what I'm seeing here, I want you to tell me what your uh, intuition tells you about your son. Do you think he has the ability to process this information as it comes out and accept it and show some humility, which is a big part because you have to admit that he was wrong and that he mistreated you about it. Uh, can you give me some thoughts, some of your thoughts on your intuition on what's going to happen? Jolene says, I work with two gentlemen young enough to be my sons. I feel like we have a soul connection, especially with the older one. Could they be souls of my two lost pregnancies? Hmm, that's a good question. Okay, so yeah, okay, you said he's 46. Okay, see, that's important. Um, Usually, people by the age of 40, if if they haven't been able to make any major paradigm shifts in their beliefs and thoughts and philosophies, then they're unlikely to do so at a later point. Oh, he thinks the cabal. Oh, well, he's not the only one who still thinks the cabal is still in charge. This is what I'm frustrated with almost every time I come on here. I've been telling you guys that the cabal, the fall of the cabal happened several few years ago with the destruction of the George Guidestones. He can accept it, but he thinks I'm wrong because he thinks the cabal. So he does believe in the cabal, and he does believe that there is a secret society of evil, maybe even non-human entities. Okay, well, let me try this light. Take the glare off. There we go. That's better. Um, yeah, this Eight of Cups. He's going off into the. He's moving away, and he's moving into an area that's uncharted, like a wilderness area. Um, there's disappointment, and this card, this Three of Swords underneath there is disappointment and betrayal. Under John's card is the Knight of Wands. That's an Aries card. That's a there's a lot of anger in there. Maybe he will. Maybe he's very angry about how this has been allowed to take place. Like it hasn't been nice. I don't know if you ever listened to Phil Godleski, but he was like angry that the white hats are allowing this to happen and that to happen and why it hasn't been done earlier. He may be in that camp. Uh, but let's look a little bit further down the road because this is not set in stone yet. And yeah, he just may have a very hard time dealing with the situation. He may just be um, unable to accept. that the cabal has really fallen, and people are tend to see what it is they think they're going to see. So if he's creating that type of reality for himself, then that's what he's going to continue to see. He's going to continue to see the devil in every detail. Okay, Susan. So um, I'm kind of I'm glad you didn't pay for that, because who wants to pay for being given unhappy news, right? Um, but don't take this as the end all be all. Okay, things can change. This is where we are right now, and the future is not set in stone and can be changed. Okay, how's here? Marcia. Oh wait, before that, let me do Jolene. Okay, so you work with two gentlemen young enough to be your sons. Feel like you have a soul connection with the older one. Okay, the older one. That's right. So, and I am going to single out the older one and see if he could be, um, like, if now I assume that you've done the math and it all works out. So let's take a look at the older one. And this is you, Jolene. Oh, Two of Pentacles, King of Wands. It's looking good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I wasn't able to give Susan good news, but Jolene, you definitely are the recipient of some good news if this is what you were looking for. So yeah, you see this Eight of Wands in the past. I as soon as I saw that, I saw like, you know, souls being coming back to Earth, going from spirit down to Earth, and then look at that. It's pointing right at the King of Wands, which is authenticity, the original, so to speak. So yeah, and it was. This is like a small bit of compensation for the loss. You could never go back and get get those children that you lost back, but this is you were able to manifest together with them this kind of compensation for that loss. Um, so you could very well treat this, the older one especially, but if this is true for the older one, then maybe the other one as well, but I'm just going to do the one reading on this. um, you could certainly think of him as the son that you lost. Okay, it's my pleasure, Susan. He thinks chemtrails are spraying bad stuff on stuff, and I told him that they are good. Yeah, in fact, did you hear recently where the head of the EPA came out and said that we have been being sprayed by, he said it was sulfur dioxide was the main thing in it, which I think we could argue with him about that. And this is the head of the EPA for the Trump administration, and he's admitting that this was happening. Somebody made a comment that, well, he didn't say he was going to stop it. And I'm first I'm thinking, well, if you know about something that's bad that's happening and you know it's bad and you have control of it, then of course you're going to stop it. But here's the reason why he didn't say that they stopped it. They didn't stop it. They changed it. So now we are, just like you said, Susan, uh, getting mitigating effects from the spray. Not only that, I did a reading one time on the booms that people hear, the mysterious booms that people hear all over the place. And um, did you know that sound waves can be used to do things like clear the smoke in a room? Like fire, they've been working on technology for firemen where they could clear the smoke in a room by focusing sound waves and distilling or getting the particles out of the air. So using sound to clean the air makes sense. Okay, I plan on being here public for another 15 minutes. So I'm loving these questions, by the way, guys. You're doing great. The past couple times I've done this, I haven't gotten any questions. Uh, and if you're like Susan and you don't have money, trust me, I understand. Um, don't be afraid to ask a question anyhow. But if you have been blessed with abundance and you could help with a super chat, that would be really appreciated. What else is on your minds? Even if you don't have a question for the cards, do you have a philosophical question? Mhm. Um, Recently, one of the viewers contacted me on Telegram because she had a really hard time wrapping her head around the concept of the concurrent souls all happening at the same time. Pardon me. And let's see. You're very welcome, Jolene. Um, yes. So what happened was I had done a reading for her in the past. She wanted to know about any of her lives, concurrent lives, as I like to call them. Sometimes I slip and say past lives. And there, she told me that I told her about one. I don't remember specifically, but she remembered that I told her about one that was she had been tortured and treated very harshly, or is ongoingly, I guess, uh, in that timeline, in that life. And she said, "Oh, so right now my oversoul is suffering, at the same time as I am here." And her problem was she conflated concurrent lives with her own ego. Each concurrent life has its own ego. It has feelings, emotions, moralities that could be different from ours. Some of them are evil, and they in no way are connected to your ego. These are two completely different entities that just happen to share the same oversoul. And she said that the oversoul could be suffering from this or something, something to that effect. No, your oversoul has no ego, has no emotions, and this is the way I came up to try to explain it to her. Imagine a vast ocean, That's deepest part of the ocean that you can imagine, widest part of the horizon that you can imagine. And on the surface, there are many waves. Each wave is distinct and individual from the other. And they're each wave is going in their own different directions, and they have their own paths, their own outcomes. Some crash on the shores to the east, some crash on the shores to the west. But below the surface, it's all calm. If you ever been a scuba diver and you've been on the surface and things are really rough, as soon as you get down below the waves, it's all calm and quiet. The chaos on the surface has no effect on what's going on underneath. Something like that. Oh, that. So yeah, you're right. That one. I mean, let me read this in case other people don't see the chat. The Aries that I read in the reading was your older son, Richard, and he and you are fully awake, and him and John were arguing. So you were right on. Yeah, absolutely. And there could be some sibling rivalry there, and that could be part of what is pushing John away. Okay. Oh, here we go. Cherie trying to invest in Alta Bitcoins. I don't know what that is. Is it going to be a good move? Well, let me see. And in a way, it's better when I don't know what something is. It's three. And cut Alta Bitcoin. So I know what Bitcoin is. Is this like another kind of Bitcoin? Tell me a little everything you know about it, Sheree, as I'm pulling cards. All right, Sheree, you're coming up as the King of Swords. This tells me that you've done some research on it. Is that right? Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, Knight of Wands. Ah, the Star. Oh, and the High Priestess. Wow, look at that. Temperance and the Magician. Whoa, what the heck is this that you've gotten into? I mean, it looks really positive. Phil is starting this. Oh, okay. That's probably. I know you, Sheree, and I really didn't think that the King of Wands really fit with you, but he's this is Phil, like being the proxy for you. In other words, you're saying what you learned from Phil. That's why it's the King of Swords. Uh, and I know Phil's kind of an insider with military intelligence. Got the Knight of Wands in the past here, and the Wheel of Fortune is think of it as like gambling, right? The wheel you spin the wheel, and it could be a big winner or it could be a big loser. There's no solid answer, yes or no here, because of the High Priestess. You need to trust your intuition and you the ability to manifest the wealth. So something led you to this. Something told you that this was a good idea. That something is your higher self, your intuition speaking to you. More important than anything I can tell you is that you listen to that. But one thing I can tell you that with the star, well, the the source of the information you got was very good. Okay. And the star is hope, abundance, and renewal. Okay. But ultimately, a decision like this has to be from you and you alone. Okay. Did I miss any questions? Okay. Anita, could you please ask what the nurse did to me a few years back, please? If that's okay. Thank you. I need a little bit more information there, Anita. Um, I mean, like, was it a jab or was it something that made you feel really bad or something that made you feel really good? I need a little bit more information. All right. Yeah. Sheree, I think there's a reason why you've been led to this Ulta Bitcoin. And I'm thinking about that name now. Alta is alternative. Like it's like I've never trusted Bitcoin. I just thought it was, I know for a fact it was used for criminal activity for money laundering and stuff like that. And so to me, Bitcoin is kind of dirty. Even if you could have become a millionaire if you bought into it 10 years ago. Okay, so I'm going to put the questions away for just a moment and I'm going to let you guys know how you can reach me for a reading. So this one here. All right, so come over to my website here. Let me copy this and put it in the chat. It's the chat. One thing about this new camera setup, it makes it hard to see my toolbar. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, I encourage you to come over here and read the testimonials. But if you're ready for a reading from me or ready to come back, come over to the book here page. Now, this is my suggested price, and this is on par with other tarot card readers that I believe I'm on the same level on or greater. And however, I'm happy to accept whatever you can afford. It's entirely up to you. And don't feel bad if all you have is $20. Some people have taken advantage of this offer, but then they say, "Oh, I feel bad." No, it's if it's 20 if $20 is what you got, then that's what I'm happy to accept. Okay. Um, to make communication easier, I'd like you to join this Telegram group. That's for bookings only. For right now, until the 15th, I still have my Calendoo booking app, but this is going away soon because it's $10 a month and I don't need it anymore because people aren't booking anymore. So you can see I haven't had any bookings in a long time. And when that does happen, when when I do let that app expire, then you can just email me. Make sure you tell me the time zone you're in, and keep in mind that I only work from about 8 p.m. Eastern time onward. Okay. If you're in the United States, you can use Cash App, and anywhere in the world, of course, is PayPal to pay me. All right. Come back to the questions, comments. Okay, so it looks like we're about done with the public part of this uh, broadcast. I need a sip of water. Now, before I go, give me your opinions on this guy and this guy. And I want your intuitive and also logical reasons why you think it is, and not somebody else's. So I've already told you what my card said and what I think, but I want to know what your intuition or your divining process, whether it be crystals or if you do cards or what it is. What do you think about the Jim Carrey situation? Do you believe Alexis Stone, the drag queen, dressed up as him? Do you believe he's a clone? Do you believe that Jim Carrey was actually behind it? It was a prank, basically, that he pulled on everybody. Curious what you guys think. And while I give you time to think about that, what am I going to do? Oh, yeah. Now, if you would like to join my members, I'll show you how you can do that. Hmm, switch accounts here. If you're on a computer, let's see. Where's mine? Yeah, this is. Got to make sure that volume is turned down. Yes. Sorry about all the ads, by the way. Skip. All right. So if you would like to join my members, how do you do that? Right there. Click that button right there. And this is in Thai bot, but I have intuitive family members, which is only, I think, $2 US. And that will get you in like for things like the pre-show. Because what I'm going to do is like after I'm done here, I'm going to start um, what I'm really here to talk about, and I'll record that live. So um, you'll be like in the pre-show part of that, talking about maybe offering suggestions and questions and things like that. Then I'll switch over to 5D intuitives and beyond, which I believe is like $5. If you're feeling very generous, then there's a $10 option. And if you would like to sponsor me so I could improve uh, my like hardware, like I need a new microphone because I know this sounds very tinny, and get a new camera, like one that's not always flopping around, then that would be really appreciated. Right? Get back to chat and get back here. Switch accounts. Oh, and by the way, if you're a regular viewer but you're not subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it if you did subscribe. Um, some people have not liked some of the things I've said recently about Jim Carrey. Uh, looks like in the past week, about 40 people have unsubscribed, which is fine. If I'm not resonating with you anymore, then But I tell you, if you're looking for an echo chamber, you're not going to find that here. I'm not just going to go along with what everybody else is saying. I'm going to tell you my honest opinion, and more importantly, what honestly my cards say. Okay, so Cherie doesn't think it's the same person. Eye color different. See, eye color is not a good metric because that can be changed. Even lighting can change eye color. Mannerisms different. People change their mannerisms as they get older. I'm certainly different from what I was 10 years ago. His stunt double. And the other thing with that, Cherie, is why would he prepare 6 months in advance? Uh, like the people who are doing it with him said they were working with Jim Carrey. So that means the stunt double was doing all that, going to all the meetings, learning French. And then 11 or 12 of his closest friends and family members, his girlfriend, his daughter, were all there. So you think they're all just going to go along? And then why? Was it a joke? Was he playing a joke? Susan says he can't be clean. He's too famous. He's gone. I mean, I don't think that we can just make a blanket statement like that. You know, I mean, do you remember what everybody said about Michael Jackson? He was this horrible person, pedophile, when actually it looks like he was probably one of the biggest white hats of all. I don't think we can make assumptions like that just because somebody's famous. He's participated in films that have helped to wake people up, like The Truman Show. MJ Squirrel says, I got the feeling he's bringing attention awareness to the clones and actors with masks. Yeah, well, that's pretty much been blown out of the water with Joe Biden. Now, that's one that you could clearly see was different, right? And I hear that in the Epstein files, it says that he was taken out in front of a firing squad in 2019, and they made him so obviously a mask wearing imposter. Like when you saw the line around his neck and parts of the mask around his eye not fitting correctly, that was all done on purpose. So that could be MJ Squirrel, but it's a little bit late to the party. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you. And by the way, stick around, Cherie, because I'm going to answer better what you're referring to here. All right, so I'm going to switch us over to members only. This will be for all members, not just the 5D'ers. And I'll give it a 5 minute time limit. Uh, it's not let me do it. I think I got to change the sizing. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right. So in 5 minutes, we'll be switching over to members only. Another thing I want to point out about Jim Carrey thing real quick is we're it's a way of dividing people. Okay, so if anything, the, those who are the remnants of the cabal have put this out there to try to get people to argue against each other. Okay, remember that as well. Like the 40 or so people who unsubscribed from me. So if you like truth and honesty and someone who's not just going along with everybody else, please subscribe to this channel. I appreciate it. I'm not so concerned about losing subscribers. I just don't want to drop below the 11,000 number because 11 is an angel number. And if you guys remember getting to 11, at one time I was at 11,111. I screenshotted that. Yes, we are all learning. And yeah, I just for purely for symbolic reasons, I want to keep my subscribers no less than 11,000. Right now, I'm looking at it's 11,100. So they round it up or they round it down, so it's 11.11.1, 11.1 on my viewer count or subscriber count. Oh boy. I appreciate you, MJ Squirrel. Yeah, you've been here for a long time. I appreciate you. Um, yeah, you guys are going to be interested in what I have to say during the members only. Um, I want to make something clear that I use AI to help me, but I recognize that AI is not infallible. In fact, that's what this is going to be about, because AI can't even agree on the Jim Carrey thing. Google's Gemini came up with a completely different answer than ChatGPT did, and it's going to be interesting, I think, to see. Okay, we're coming up to 1 minute left, and with this last minute, I want to give my deepest thank yous and appreciations to everyone who is still on this channel, or even if you're not subscribed and you're just here to heckle me from your living room, that's fine too. Everybody's appreciated. I feel so blessed to have been able to do this with a YouTube channel. I don't make a lot here, but the little that I do make really helps, especially now that for some mysterious reason I'm not doing tarot card reading. Well, I am doing tarot card reading, but I just haven't had any bookings in quite some time, and I take that as a good thing. People are doing better. They don't need to ask me questions so much anymore. That's a good thing. All right. Well, thanks for watching in the public group, and I'll see you next time, maybe in a couple days.